Hello everyone, welcome to an iRacing video. Wow, we've had two new games in a week in terms of videos, and this is qualifying at Summit Point, and we are in the Ferrari fixed setup, the Ferrari 488, a GT3 car, and as you can see I'm warming up my tyres, and this is qualifying, and this is how qualifying should be in most sim racing games in my opinion. Literally on your own, on circuits, you've got no silly slipstream fests or carnage, people getting in the way, because it is different to real life, and you get to actually, you know, warm up your tyres and go for 2 flying laps. That's it, you get 2 flying laps, job done, happy days. Now, as you can see, I'm warming up my tyres, we're just speeding this up a little bit here. Very hard circuit to warm up your tyres I've found, and yeah, I just struggled a little bit, as you'll see on my flying laps here. We have green flag there, we can set our first time lap. Now, as we head towards turn 1, Summit Point, a very small circuit. I had to learn it on the fly, and this was one of the races during my journey to get the C license for the special event that's happening this weekend, Petit Le Mans at Road Atlanta. So I then have to learn that track in 2 days and make sure I'm all happy. Never done multi-class racing in the game. I'll be learning to use a car that doesn't have ABS as well. This has ABS, but there is some lock-in as you see me go through this left. Very hard corner this left. As you can see, just gravel straight off the bat on the right hand side, and as you see we get an off track. Now if you get an off track in iRacing in qualifying, the lap is discounted instantly, so you know you have to be careful in your quali session as we come through the right. And as I say, I'm aiming to try and get to C rated, so an off track there actually impacts me trying to get my next license, which is purely based on safety rating, but we'll talk about that in a separate video, and I'll show you my journey through to the C rated license, because I do eventually get it as I just go off track there as well. So you can see I'm struggling really with understeer, so I'm trying to get a bit more warmth in if I can, but we're going to have a pretty bad exit here of the last corner, and we're going to try another lap now, and let's see what we can do here. This is actually going to be a lap which does count, so we're going to head down towards turn 1 again. We have those cones on the left hand side, lovely brake markers here as we head down here and hit the brakes. And you can hear that sort of like lock-in sort of thing. So I was speaking to Alegna afterwards, and braking in this Ferrari should be done at 80%, not 100 like I was doing. So the ABS obviously kicking in there, that's going to slow down my braking a little bit. As we head towards this fast left, you can see there, you don't hear that noise that time because it's a quick dab of the brakes, chucking it in, losing a little bit of time here on my ultimate fastest lap, that is, that time difference there, the delta. Don't change gear here through there, and then in towards this braking zone. Again, a very hard braking zone. You have to make sure you straight line brake it. What I found is when I was braking and turning, the rear would just come out and I'd go flying up into the grass, to Narnia, just anywhere off circuit basically. And as you can see, very short track. The rear just gets so light. You can see I'm having to correct here, slight lift. You can see the car just wanting to go wide, just wanting to understeer because the tyres are still not warmed up. As we head down towards the last corner now, drop it down to 4th gear. Now I was struggling to decide whether it's 3rd gear or 4th gear. You can see I dropped down to 3rd gear in the end because I was suffering a little bit more understeer. We crossed the line then, and we finished there on a 109.2, which isn't the greatest time. I think you know, you should be well in the 108s in terms of top times in qualifying. But as you can see, my warm-up didn't go very well, and I am still learning this game as we look towards the results. It's getting me P3 in this lobby. Obviously, it's not the quickest lobby in the world, but we're beating some people. So, you know, we are learning the game. We are really expanding on our speed here. Now, this is the race. Now, you're all probably going, Tidge, why are you starting from the pits? Well, as I say, I'm trying to get my C license, and that's all based on safety rating. If I'd have started with the grid, there's a chance that there's going to be a crash and I'll be involved in an incident. Now, obviously, you will see some of this journey to C license in another video coming next week, and you will see some fairly crazy incidents, now let's be honest with you, including my car getting mounted. But that is a completely different story, I guess. But anyway, we leave the pits there. You can see everybody in the distance. So I'm going to try and warm up the tyres and just try and get a clean race here. Get a times 0 incident race. That's the best way to get your safety rating up to C. But we are going to push a little bit as well, because I do want to, you know, get up to speed in this game. You know, I have to learn the physics, learn how cars handle, and once I know that, I'll be able to then maximise the performance in any given race. Obviously this first lap, all about getting the tyres warm. Now, just to give you, oh, as we see somebody off on the left already, so you can see accidents do happen, and I did find actually accidents happen quite often in this game. But yeah, Nico Rublar, who you know from GT Sport as well, did a 107.6, I think it was, in the race. Now, obviously tyres were fully warmed up by that point, which that's a super fast lap. I got nowhere near that. I think my best in the end in this series was a 108.3 or 4, and that was in time trial. So again, I hadn't maximised my speed there. There's another car off on the right. Honestly, you see this quite often in iRacing. You know, a lot of you GTers will go, okay, you know, GT Sport just has dirty drivers. There's a lot of crashing in iRacing, I've found. A lot more than the Assetto Corsa when I played that game. But even so, let's continue on with some racing now. You can see we've caught up to the back of the pack here. We've gained a couple of positions from those that have fallen off. And there was another car that started at the pits as well. So in towards turn 1, we've just caught up to Carlos here in the red Ferrari. Now this is a short track, as you've seen, and it's quite a tight track, if you can tell here, this summit point. An interesting track. I think it's going to be very good for something like Lazarus. You see someone's locked the wheels there, a bit of smoke, and another crash there. As I say, lots of crashing in iRacing, as that blue Ferrari must have been involved here, but I can't really make a move. And as I said, I'm trying to go for a clean race here, so I'm not going for any risk at all. If I have an opportunity for a move, I'll take it. If not, we'll just back out of it. And the reason I'm showing you this race is because it is one of my better races so far in iRacing. It's actually a really good race here, if you're wondering 6 minutes into the video why I'm showing you this race, but you might have guessed from the title anyway. So through the right here, just taking it easy, make sure we don't oversteer off, getting any of those off tracks. Just showing our nose here to the Ferrari up ahead, you know, making our intentions clear here. We do want to get past you as fast as possible. Through the right we go, and you can see there all over the back of cars in front here. I actually had another race with this driver in front, Adrian Vallarta. But that's in another, that'll be in the other video. As you can see, we're heading out towards turn 1 here. They're down the inside here. They're going to go for that lunge down in towards turn 1. As you see, people are very well aware of where cars are without a radar. Now, I actually prefer a radar. It just allows you to get a feeling of where cars are. I found during all my races that I'm technically going blind a little bit because I don't have use of the mirrors. It's very hard to race sometimes in iRacing. I've got to say, as we head down towards the right hand here, look, I've lifted a lot here. I'm just trying to make sure I get around the course nice and easy. I call it a course now. I've turned American. What's that about? The circuit, let's put it that way. In towards the right, see the Ferrari up ahead just ran a little bit wide here. We're in a train of cars, so possibility of making some moves here. Remember, we started at the back, which was like P18, I think, maybe P17, something like that. Through the right we go. And we are close now. You can see that blue Ferrari just going towards the right of the orange one. We're looking again, looking. Not quite going to get it done here. In towards the right. He runs wide here. This gives me an opportunity. I get on my inside. My spotter says car on the left. Now you see a yellow Ferrari coming up towards the rear. But this track isn't wide enough for 3 wide. Or maybe it is just. But not enough room there for the yellow Ferrari. Down the inside of Carlos and in towards turn 1. He looks to try and outbrake me. I'm trying to make sure I don't lock up my brakes. We keep it tight here, trying to accelerate out as fast as possible. We get that position. Good overtaking move there, I would say, in iRacing. So there you go. Look, I can overtake in iRacing. Happy days. Imagine if you're just a pure iRacer elitist and you'd have a GT Sport player overtaking you. Oh, I imagine that's a bit awkward. Anyway, we're catching up to Julien here in the orange Ferrari. See what we can do here. You notice how the tyres are warming up now. The car is understeering much less. Olegna said when he watched some of my races, you could see the confidence come out in my driving when the tyres have warmed up. So obviously, it's something I'm struggling with iRacing. I actually struggle with it a little bit in GT Sport, to be honest. You see a little bit of lag there. Fortunately, we come back nice and easy. That's what happens in iRacing when you lag. All the cars disappear, so you don't impact them. A little bit scary, I've got to say. But you see, no room there to get past the orange Ferrari now. Through the right-hander we go, and we've got a good run here. He goes defensive, there does Julien. We go towards the left-hand side here. This is for P10, as we're side by side now, heading towards turn 1. Are we going to get it done and dusted? So we're looking for those 3 cones. We get it stopped there, nice and easy. Turn in. Move done and dusted. Up to P10 now, nice and easy. The delta doesn't change for some reason. Well, let's advance a little bit further ahead. Let's catch up to the next car now. And as you can see, we've also caught up to the red Ferrari as well. So these two are going to go, or have some action at least there. So let's see what happens here. Red Ferrari goes defensive, blue one on the outside. Very dangerous corner. See this, it's in the bumps. Oh, that's a tiny bit awkward. But hey, we'll take it, won't we? P8, happy days. Look at this. We're gaining places from the pit. Now, that's the reason, half the reason, why I started from the pit. I wanted to avoid the carnage for that time 0. You've seen how many crashes in this? How many people off? 5, 6? Some of that. It's mental sometimes. Now, don't get me wrong, not on all circuits. This is quite a tight circuit, so you are expecting incidents. But we have seen quite a few incidents and been involved in a couple ourselves, which you will see in the next iRacing video coming to the channel next week. As you can see, white flag now, so we're chasing down a back marker here, Paolo Atinori. So let's see if we can catch up to this back marker. Let's see if they actually get out the way, as they are effectively a back marker. So blue flags, I imagine, should be flying. I do believe they're probably in iRacing. I don't know for certain though, maybe someone can clarify that. So heading up towards the left here, very scary corner this, I've mentioned this before. You just sort of want to balance the car and accelerate through. So easy going to that gravel, and I imagine spin as well. In towards the right, we go in 5th gear now. Couldn't decide 4th or 5th here. I think 5th was slightly quicker, but it was just about getting the car turned in and stopped for this left-hander. A little bit of understeer there. I don't know whether that's dirty air or not. Dirty air doesn't seem too bad in this game. It does appear to be there, but you know, it's not as bad as GT in like Group 1s where you absolutely go flying off the corner due to massive amounts of understeer. But you can see there, just struggling a little bit of understeer there. The Ferrari just goes wide there in front as well, heading towards the last corner now. Are we going to get this done and dusted? Getting closer. And see, we're trying to accelerate through there. Not going to happen here. And the track limits are very sensible here. You can run wide on that last corner. It won't penalise you. But on other corners where it does see it as a penalty, it will penalise you. And that's good. I actually really like that about iRacing. The track limits seem spot on. They seem to have actually drawn a line, how I would draw it, and decide whether that should be a penalty or whether that shouldn't be a penalty. So really, really good stuff from them. A shout out for them for that. But, you know, with iRacing, I find it a little bit difficult to race. You do this last lap, just get a little bit of extra safety rating. It's kind of nice, I suppose. A free lap, essentially. And, yeah, that's going to be it for this first iRacing video. First race video on the channel. There will be more coming. We've also got the special event, the Petit Le Mans, which I have qualified for now in terms of getting a license for it. So that stream will be Saturday the 3rd of October. And that's going to be a 10-hour stream, I think, so a long one. Make sure you tune in for that, but that's going to be it for me now, folks. Thanks very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream very soon.